What's up, everyone, and welcome to the podcast.
This is Supernaturally Stupid.
This episode, as you could probably see by the title, is going to be all about the new trailer that we just got. The teaser trailer, mind you, for Spider-Man No Way Home. We're going to talk about all the theories. We're going to talk about all of everything in the trailer. So if you haven't seen the trailer, if you don't want to know about it, just...
Spoilers, just
go away. Just leave. Click out. Bye.
This is your last warning.
Yeah. So we're just going to kind of get right on into it. I think we'll start with the definite stuff. The stuff we know for sure from the trailer. And then we'll hop into all of the theories. So, starting off... This is your main thing. It's obviously episode. It's my thing as well because oh my fucking god, bitch! The first Spider-Man movie, the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, was my shit. I watched that on repeat, probably like once a week.
I wasn't a massive Spider-Man fan until Tom Holland came around. He's the best Spider-Man. We can agree on that.
Yes, I can absolutely agree.
He's the best Spider-Man and the best Peter Parker.
Yes, I can absolutely agree with you on that. But the Tobey Maguire ones are so nostalgic to me.
Yeah, it's iconic.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into the trailer.
So, first big thing I want to talk about in the trailer is why is the Sanctum Sanctorum covered with snow?
Yeah, I kind of didn't even really think about that.
Yeah, like...
What? What? What would the reasoning be?
I also think that Wong leaving, he's going to the tournament in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say.
It's confirmed that it is him and Abomination fighting. So, I think that's what that is. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Sanctum Sanctorum covered with snow. Doctor Strange and Spidey are pretty friendly. A lot of people are kind of like suspicious about how friendly he's being.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. Before we get to that, though... I don't think it's that out of the ordinary, but we'll get to that. Peter wants Doctor Strange to wipe everyone on Earth's memory. Everyone on Earth's memory of him being Spider-Man, like Peter Parker being Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. First of all, that's a testament to how powerful Doctor Strange really is.
Yeah. To be able to wipe that from everyone's mind.
Like... Let's just take a second to appreciate that Doctor Strange was able to fight off Thanos with, 3 or 4 of the Infinity Stones? Mm-hmm. And he didn't even use the one that he had. Doctor Strange is awesome. Not to mention that he is erasing everyone on Earth's memory of him being Peter Parker being Spider-Man. But also the fact that he is breaking the multiverse further. Him singularly is breaking the multiverse further than it's already been altered. Like, he's crazy. Yeah. I love Doctor Strange so much. But I hope he doesn't have a major part in this movie.
I don't think that he will.
I think it's just the beginning setup.
Yeah.
So then we get these quick, really cool shots of, Peter and Doctor Strange doing this crazy stuff. Like, they're riding a train through the sky, and he's, duplicating the trains. And it looks cool, but I don't understand.
Cool.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Not to mention, they mirror a shot almost exactly from the first Doctor Strange movie where he's him and Mordo are falling into New York. Mm-hmm. They mirror that, and that's really cool. They're doing what looks like the mirror dimension, and it's weird.
We get a shot of Peter running in what looks to be a new suit.
It is a new suit.
Through Feast.
Yeah. So,
which we will get into, but it is Feast, 100%. Yeah. That's not a conspiracy, it is Feast.
That could just be a cute little Easter egg, or that could have big story implications.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. Quick thing, though. I'm not sure if this is confirmed or not. People are pretty sure that the black and gold suit is literally just the enhanced suit from the end of Far From Home turned inside out. That, people are pretty sure it's just turned inside out.
That's kind of funny. Yeah. He's in a rush.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
I did it wrong. After they do, the falling through New York stuff, there's a shot of, I love this so much. There's a shot of Doctor Strange doing the, forced astral projection thing on Peter. Mm-hmm. And obviously it's a callback to the first Doctor Strange. And it's such a little thing, but I love it. And then, we get a shot of Peter in the Iron Spider suit again from Infinity War. he's really bouncing around between the enhanced suit and that. So that's weird that he'd use the Iron Spider suit. And then we get a shot of Happy in a car being surrounded by guys with guns.
It makes me really sad because if he dies, I will actually be so upset.
Yeah.
I don't think he will.
I said I don't think he'll die by firing squad, but it's not outside the realm of impossibility.
I really hope he doesn't.
Oh, I love Happy.
So sad.
So
and
now
then we get into the good shit.
Now here's the good shit, just back to back to back bangers.
Yeah.
There's a little shot right before these 3 scenes that we'll come back to because it's not a confirmed thing or anything. But the 3 big things that end off the trailer is we get this bolt of lightning coming at Peter in the black and gold suit. Electro. And we know it's Jamie Foxx's Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Unpopular opinion, don't like him. Yeah. Don't like Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I don't care.
He's so mediocre and kind of an asshole, so...
Yeah. I don't have an opinion.
Anyway.
But an interesting thing to note, in Amazing Spider-Man 2, he had blue lightning. But in this he has yellow, like the comics. A little bit of a twist. But on the right side of the screen, behind Peter, who's hard to see because he's enclosed by sand, is what looks to be a big sand figure. I don't think it's 100% confirmed, but I think it's basically confirmed that Sandman from Spider-Man 3 is back. Same actor and everything, just like the others. So that's big.
My favorite.
And then we get a little ball drops on the ground and rolls next to a car with a sinister laugh.
My favorite.
And you see that it's a pumpkin bomb, specifically Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin pumpkin bombs.
If they bring Green Goblin back, and it's... Well, they bring him back. But if it's not William Dafoe, I'm literally riot.
There's some alleged leaks of, footage leaks. Very, very small things. That include Willem Dafoe, Doc Ock from, kind of a back angle, and Electro. 3 separate screenshots. And if I'm correct, the shot of Willem Dafoe, it doesn't appear to come from any other movie he's been in, so it can't be faked, really.
Yeah.
So it likely is him, but
better be.
Yeah, no guarantees. Yeah. And then finally, we get all these metal tentacles grabbing into Highway and pulling, and we get Alfred Molina's Doc Ock go, "Hello, Peter." Ah.
It's so good.
It's so
good.
Hello, Peter. And the de-aging looks really good, too.
Yeah.
I will say, behind the sunglasses, the eyes look a little weird to me.
You're also so...
I'm so nitpicky about those
things. Didn't notice.
Yeah. Yeah, specifically his right eye looks a little weird behind the sunglasses, but de-aging stuff is testy. Yeah. But yeah, and the trailer ends with Peter going into spider pose. And the nanotech suit again.
So, now that we kind of went through the whole trailer, we talked about the things that we for sure know. Let's start with some theories. And again, we'll kind of start from beginning to end of the trailer and go through and talk about all the theories. So, in the beginning of the trailer, when we get the one shot of them walking through, Peter and MJ, and all of them walking through and kind of being harassed, more or less, with people holding signs and stuff, there's one shot where it kind of really focuses on a sign that's Peter with devil horns and said, "Devil in disguise," of all things. It says "Devil in disguise." So that has people thinking a million different things. That has people thinking that it's a reference towards Daredevil, but that also has people thinking of another theory that involves Mephisto. Now, I know no one wants to get into that whole thing again.
So over Mephisto.
Yeah, but apparently there is a comic where Mephisto does help Peter get rid of his identity and all of that. So, and people were saying that Doctor Strange seemed very weird and off in the trailer, so people are also I don't think this is true by any means, this is just theories, but people were also thinking that Doctor Strange could possibly be Mephisto, and that's kind of a little
Yeah.
It's right in front of you kind of thing. Because it literally says
the
devil in disguise, which is kind of ironic phrasing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's such a specific shot of that right here next to Peter's head. Kind of a little weird, I do have to say.
I don't think that we're going to get Mephisto at all in this phase. We'll get him eventually. We'll get good old Mephistopheles eventually. He's just been so blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
And to be fair, comparative to other Marvel villains, he's kind of mediocre. Like, he's done some wicked stuff. But, like, I would prefer Doctor Doom and Kang any day. And we're getting one of them, at least.
I will also say, though, it is weird how in the shows and stuff leading up to this, there have been hints of Mephisto as well.
Well, the one in Loki of the devil, I think that was confirmed that was just because Sylvie had the horns.
I mean, maybe, but...
Yeah.
How many times have they said something and then it's not been what they said, though?
Yeah.
To be fair. Nothing that Marvel says is...
Getting off track here for a second, though, the only thing that should be like in hindsight this happened was Mephisto being involved in WandaVision. Because in the comics, he is the only reason that Wiccan and Speed, Tommy and Billy... He is the only reason that they exist.
Yeah.
He literally, like, without her knowledge, gives Wanda energy from him to create them. Because of something, like, years down the line in the comics, he, like, reabsorbs their essence into him for more power. And, like, they're dead for a while until he's defeated and they're brought back. It's weird. So, I think that's the only, like, in hindsight connection. Like, I don't think... The stained glass devil in Loki was anything. There's nothing in Falcon the Winter Soldier that I can think of, but Mephisto directly ties into Wiccan and Speed's story, so I can see that as an in hindsight thing.
There was also, people were talking about, what was it, The Fly or something in it, which is a reference, I guess, to Mephisto.
That was his first form.
Yeah, and they really did focus on that, and and the devil they did focus on too. Just because they said the devil didn't have anything to do with Mephisto doesn't mean that that's true. I think that we know that by now. So,
but
I understand where people are coming from with this theory, especially because the devil in disguise. Like, that's such a weird phrase to use.
Yeah, but at this point, Marvel knows exactly what to do to get people to get off track.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah. But... Again, and let's go back into this, it could also be a reference to Daredevil being in it.
Because...
And it's because in the scene where he's in the police station, sitting at the table, and you see a guy walk in and slam something down, people are theorizing that that is Matthew Murdock. And that is...
Yeah, which is because they weirdly cut off his head.
Yeah, they don't show his head and face and stuff.
To intervene, though... They could be doing a little bit of a cinematography trick where they don't show concrete... Like, they do, like, a short montage of Peter going through all of this, and they don't focus on anyone else. It's just kind of like Peter, just, like, zoned out, like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, and all this, like, slamming stuff down, no reaction. And it's supposed to convey how lost he is and how, like, unaware and distracted he is by everything else. So... To be fair, it could just be a cinematography.
Well, all of this is just it theory. Could be...
I have full faith that we're at least... Because it looks like there's going to be legal proceedings in the very, very beginning. I would be shocked if we didn't get even a Matthew Murdock cameo.
I think we will.
Yeah, because I think he's going to... I don't think we'll get Daredevil in this. I think we'll get full-blown Daredevil and She-Hulk. And then we might get more of just Daredevil in the future.
Yeah.
But I think Daredevil will make his debut in She-Hulk instead of No Way Home. Because, like, for example, going off a little bit again, but to support this point, Ironheart. Her debut isn't in her series. It's in Black Panther 2. Mm-hmm. So, they've been doing that more and more, especially with Monica Rambeau. She got her origin in WandaVision. Arguably, Sylvie and Mobius and Hero Loki got their origin through the Loki show.
Yeah.
Falcon got his Cap origin through Captain America. U.S. Agent got his setup through Falcon the Winter Soldier. So they're doing a lot of character, even if it's quick and short. Like Torres in Falcon the Winter Soldier. He's the next Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing these little things to set up the future. So they do a lot of the setup stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of cameo stuff.
Yeah.
So we won't be getting Daredevil. But I think we'll get Matthew Murdock.
Yeah, but I mean, they go hand in hand, though.
Not always. I mean, that's a whole, like, kind of part of the show, is they are two separate people.
Well, yes and no. They quite literally are the same person.
Quite literally are the same person. Moving on to the Doctor Strange theories. Next, with everybody saying that Doctor Strange just feels off and weird.
Being strange.
Strange is being strange. I don't think so. I think he's relatively in character. Relatively.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively. He's always had a sort of... Even when he's having these heroic moments, he's always kind of had this sense of careless arrogance. Or just careless... Like...
Yeah.
With just putting... yes, he can see... In Infinity War, he saw every future. But that doesn't guarantee that the future that will come to pass will be the one that he foresaw. So he just threw Thanos the Time Stone without using it.
Mm-hmm.
And with how the Time Stone works, he could just put Thanos in a time loop forever. Now that's just wouldn't make a good movie. But like, there's a carelessness and an arrogance to Doctor Strange that's always there, because that's just how he is. So, for example, his just willingness to go forward with the spell, that's completely in character. He completely ignored Wong and the Ancient One and all the warnings in Doctor Strange, and was just rocketing through his training and doing stuff in secret and stealing books. Like,
yeah, but
that was the whole point of Doctor Strange, is he learned so quickly and he did stuff that he wasn't supposed to and broke the rules.
Yeah, exactly. He did that. Past tense. He's not like that anymore, necessarily, because he's learned from that.
To be fair, we haven't gotten a lot of Doctor Strange in the MCU.
Yeah.
We got him in his one movie, and then, like, little things that didn't build on his character.
Kind of trying to play devil's advocate. Anyway, I'm kind of trying to play devil's advocate here and, like, see where people are coming from as well, because I do understand where people are coming from. I do think that he was being a little off, a little weird. I don't understand why he would just so willingly be like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Look at it from this perspective. Spider-Man is the bad guy in the world's eyes right now. And
also for him to mess up that badly. I understand that Peter was interrupting and everything, but for you to mess up a spell that bad.
On that front, it could have just been a severely... I mean, think about the potential of it. It's probably a really complicated spell. He probably needed complete silence.
Yeah.
And Peter kept talking. So, I think that's believable. A spell of that caliber is probably insanely powerful and hard to do. So he probably, like, literally can't take his focus away at all in order to do this. So, I don't think it was a purposeful thing. To hop back for a second, about... You were saying, like, his willingness to help Peter with something like this, something like that. Right now, in the eyes of the world, the entire world, especially America, Peter's a villain. He is the bad guy. Hulk is the only active Avenger, as of now. He is the only Avenger that is actively going around and helping people. And Spider-Man is such an icon, because he helped save the universe. And he's one of the few people that are still on Earth and an active hero that Doctor Strange would know. Because Tony's gone, Cap's gone, Nat's gone, Clint's retired, Ant-Man is probably trying to retire but won't, and all the however many others. All the Wakandans are going to go back, all the sorcerers are going to spread out across the world, but like, Peter was also there whenever, like, they were going through everything in space. Yeah. So he does know Peter, like, on a semi-personal level. And he did help. So, I think it would make sense for him to help him because of that slight personal connection and conflict. And the fact that the world needs heroes more than ever, instead of a villain.
Man.
So I think Doctor Strange is very in character. I really do. I don't think that this is a trick. I don't think he's a variant. I think it is Doctor Strange. I think it is him.
The other comment that I saw someone make, and I don't necessarily agree with this, but I kind of again understand. They made the point of like, he was one of the best surgeons ever. You can't be like in the middle of a surgery and let someone talking to you distract you or something like that. You know what I mean? So I do...
Argument. Bouncing back to Doctor Strange 1, his neurosurgeon mind has been completely replaced by his mystical mind. Because he had to throw everything out because he couldn't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. Because of how his hands were damaged. He's always shaking. So he had to completely throw those habits and those behaviors out the window and replace them with a focus on the mystical side.
That's fair.
Even in Infinity War and Endgame, you can still see him shaking, which is dedication to character. I like that. And at the same time, again, that the concentration that spell needs, he literally probably needed complete silence. Mm-hmm. And who knows? I think it's likely from the stress of being in the Dark Dimension in that time loop with Dormammu for what could be like legitimately hundreds if not thousands of years in that time loop. I think that's a confirmed thing. And the stress of what was going on with going through all the futures and everything, it's possible that he's in a more fragile state than he was before. Yeah. Like mentally. Like that stress could permanently affect him to be a much more anxious individual that is distracted more easily. Mm-hmm. So, I think that Doctor Strange is Doctor Strange. I don't think it's an illusion. I don't think it's Mephisto. I don't think it's...
Yeah, that's the other one. We haven't even gotten into that. So the other theory is that Doctor Strange is not even there. None of this is real, and it's all Mysterio's doing.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's so not...
Because, like, that would ruin the other... Because, first of all, how would Mysterio even know about those villains?
Yes, that's my whole point that I was going to make, is he doesn't even know of those villains existing, most likely, so...
Yeah. So,
it makes absolutely no sense.
There would be no point to have a villain like Doc Ock appear and refer to Peter by his name, because
and then just be like, "Ooh, it's an illusion."
Because that makes it personal. Like, hello, Peter. Like, he would know him. Yeah. Which I think
we'll get into that.
We'll get there. But if it were to be referring to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, it wouldn't make sense for that personal connection of using his name because he's never met him. Mm-hmm. So it just doesn't make sense. That I don't think Mysterio's dead. I don't think he's dead. Whether it be a body double, an illusion, whatever. This whole thing is deception and illusion. I don't think Mysterio is dead. But it's real.
Yeah.
None of it's an illusion.
I agree with you 100%. It's just a funny theory.
Yeah.
And I had to throw it in. Because, like, the fact that people can even think that is so insane to me.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. So, next up, we have the whole connection of this movie to Miles and Mr. Negative. Because in a shot, we see Peter running through what looks to be like a cafeteria type situation. Mm-hmm. And on the wall, you see it says...
black and gold suit.
Yeah. On the wall, you see it says Feast. Which is where Miles volunteers at, and Mr. Negative is the owner.
Yeah.
So
Martin Lee.
That could just be...
a little Easter egg.
Yeah, it could just be like, hey
look at that.
Yeah. But, like, it could also mean something a lot bigger. What if Miles makes his debut in this movie?
Yeah.
Like, what if that is what one of the big reveals in this is?
Yeah.
It's a possibility. Because of the multiverse and everything, it's a huge possibility.
Quick theory, summed up really quickly. I think, like, this is a lot of information at once, but I'm going to make this quick. My theory about this movie is that between Sylvie opening up the multiverse in Loki, Wanda exploring through it to find a reality where her kids are still around, and Doctor Strange messing up the spell, I think it's very likely that the main timeline that the MCU follows might, like, jitter around and cross with others, which is where these villains come from. And I think, personally, what might happen is that Doctor Strange will stay in the main timeline and have to find a way to get Peter home by the end of Multiverse of Madness, or Multiverse of Madness is the playout of him messing up the spell. Like, that's the straw on the camel's back. And the film is called No Way Home because Peter literally doesn't have a way home.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man 4 would be him coming back, and possibly a debut for Miles to start to take over the mantle of Spider-Man. Because that's exactly what happens in the comics.
I think it would be a good idea and a good setup.
I mean, actually, you're right. Because in Thor Love and Thunder, Jane Foster is taking up the mantle of Mighty Thor. And Chris Hemsworth Thor is still going to be around after this film, just in limited capacity. Because in the comics, Jane takes over the mantle for a while until Thor feels he's worthy enough to return, and then he takes the mantle back over. So it could literally be while Spider-Man is lost in another dimension, Miles takes up the mantle of Spider-Man in New York until he comes back.
Yeah. I think it's a very good possibility.
I think that's cool. Yeah, I like that theory.
Who knows?
That seems grounded.
Who knows?
Yeah, Feast, like you were saying. It's not something that's well known to comic and movie fans, but anybody that's played the PlayStation Spider-Man game knows Martin Lee and Mr. Negative and Feast and Miles' involvement in that, and Aunt May helping to found it, and like that's a big part of the Spider-Man game. So if you know that game, you already know this information. Can you see that?
Yeah, you can look in the corner.
Foot? Yeah, he's licking his foot. And now he's biting. He's biting his whole foot. Do you mind, sir? Give him a little pat on the butt.
I was giving him lots. It's just so funny in the corner.
For a while, people thought the Lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man was going to be in this. She just yesterday, told me that the actor didn't want to reprise his role. So, I
take that with a grain of salt, because I don't know for sure if that is 100% true or not.
Yeah.
You never know.
Not a lot is confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Not a lot is confirmed yet.
But I saw something that said that actor did not want to reprise his role.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So, that's out there. People were saying that they thought they saw Venom in the shot of Electro and Sandman, but it's Peter in the black and gold suit. Like, I looked at what people were talking. It's Peter in the black and gold suit. It's not Venom. But right towards the end of the trailer, there's a shot of something lunging at Peter, and a protection rune pops up real quick from Doctor Strange. I think that's part of some of the toy leaks. I think Doctor Strange enchanted Peter's suit before he got taken away to help him. Like protection runes and like boosting his webs and stuff or something. But if you stop it and look, it's not as tall as the Lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man.
It doesn't have a tail.
Yeah, no tail. And I noticed this. I was fighting her on this.
No.
Well, I wasn't not fighting, but like...
I'm just blind.
Yeah, I was struggling to get her to see it. But if you stop it right before it flicks to the next scene, it looks like it kind of takes like a sideways pose. Like it gets like knocked away from the rune. And to me, clear as day, I see what looks like a white streak going down the head. Yeah. I think it's Venom. It's Venom.
After I was able to see it, because again, it is very hard to...
It's very quick, too.
Yeah. So it is hard to see, but after I did see it, I can't unsee it now. It absolutely does look like Venom.
Because what I think is going to happen is Peter and Doctor Strange are going to get yanked through a couple things before they get separated. That's my personal theory. They're going to get yanked around for like 15, 20 minutes. Doctor Strange is going to go back to the main timeline, whether his own will or not, and Peter's going to get stuck in whatever this conglomerate dimension is with Amazing Spider-Man and original trilogy Spider-Man villains. Whatever is going on there. But it looks like Venom. It looks like Tom Hardy's Venom, but Tom Hardy's Venom also isn't just aggressive for no reason.
He might not... I kind of think he might not be trying to go after Peter. I don't know, though.
Yeah,
I don't feel like he was going after Peter. I think he's just mad.
Who are you? Boom! Why do you look like me? Boom!
Not like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just agitated.
Yeah. I don't think he's trying to go after him.
It might not even be Tom Hardy's Venom. It's just a comic accurate enough.
It also might not be Venom at all.
It might not be Venom. I don't think it's the Lizard. It looks a lot like Venom, though.
It could have been, playing devil's advocate, it could have been the Lizard not fully transformed. That's why he didn't have a tail, this and that. They do that on purpose because they want people to talk about it, so they kind of make it look like Venom so that people start talking about theories and stuff. So who knows? But to me, especially the eye and everything, it looks like a
white streak that starts thin and grows and kind of turns into a bulb, like his eye.
It looks like Venom a lot. So
and another thing, the lineup for the villains right now, whether the actors are, like again, it's not 100% that it's Willem Dafoe, but like it's Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. Regardless of actors or whoever, the lineup for villains right now is Doc Ock. The lineup is Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Electro, and Sandman for absolute certain.
Mm-hmm.
It's unconfirmed about the next one, but it's Lizard/Venom and possibly Rhino from the end of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in the mech suit and everything. So, depending on what's going on, that's 5. And there's room for a 6th, because in the comics, Spider-Man's biggest threat is the Sinister Six.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a team. And the team always changes out. There's always different entries, like Scorpion, who was in Homecoming, just not in his suit. Matt Gargan, he was in it twice. But it's always a changing team, and it's always flowing. But there's still a 6th slot available, and you can't not do the Sinister Six if you've got 5 of them, especially Doc Ock and Green Goblin. So there's reports that there's going to be a 6th one that comes late 2nd act, early 3rd act of the movie, like later on in the movie, past the halfway point. I think that could be an opportunity to reintroduce Mysterio again, or Vulture.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a single one of Tom Holland's Spider-Man's villains. It's all from the other franchises. So to have at least one of his two, I think that would really balance it out and be comfortable.
Yeah.
Because then you've got a little bit of representation from everything.
I do think there's a good chance it'll be Mysterio, because if you technically think about it, he's the main villain in this movie. He is the one that outed Peter.
He's still the villain.
He is the reason why the spell happens and why everything goes to shit. It's because of him. So I think
that would make sense from a
there's
storytelling
a very
standpoint,
good chance that it would be him, because he technically is the main villain of this movie, if you really think about it. Because none of this would be going on if he didn't expose Peter.
And another...
I just came up with that. I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm leaving that in.
We're so dumb. There's a theory that's carried over from Far From Home. And it's a little bit of a stretch, but I believe it. So, I think that the Mysterio that we see that dies, there's a chance it's just a body double. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the master of deception and illusion. He can't be dead like that, especially to his own drones.
Yeah.
He can't be. That'd be such a letdown. Especially because there's been reports for like 3 years now that they were considering doing a solo Mysterio movie. That would be so cool.
I also want to say, I think I remember, and again, take this with a grain of salt, I think I remember there being reports of people saying Jake Gyllenhaal was in the area of where it was being filmed when it was being filmed.
To be fair,
again, take it with a grain of salt.
To be fair, though, a lot of people also saw James Spader.
I don't know.
The voice of Ultron. People thought they saw the voice of Ultron on set for WandaVision, or it may have even been confirmed he was on set for for WandaVision, but there wasn't any Ultron.
Yeah.
So it literally could have just been like him, like, advising, doing reshoots, like little camera reshoots for the scene where he's like, Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Like, maybe they're just doing little reshoots for that.
Yeah, again, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. Like, you never know. But that is something that I remember seeing, so I just want to kind of throw that out there as well, because I think that would be most likely, and there's a villain from all of the other previous ones, so why wouldn't there be one from his?
Sorry, jumping back again, and then the second half, is whenever Mysterio, like, just kind of, like, slumps, like he's dead. Dead. Peter doesn't ask, is he dead? Peter asks, is this real? And Edith's reply is, all illusions have been terminated. It's vague, and might not completely line up because, it's not an illusion, so her answer of all illusions have been terminated. This one's a bit of a stretch, more than a body double. But it literally just could have been an illusion that was getting projected off of one of the drones that was in the room. Because even if they were busted, that doesn't mean that they're completely shot.
Yeah.
It literally could have been a drone displaying the image while he ran off.
Easily been one of the ones that he knocked down while inside. It was laying there, you don't realize it.
Laying crooked in the corner.
Yeah.
And he just took off.
Yeah.
So, whenever, like, she says all illusions terminated, maybe that's the drone, like, again, stretch. Maybe that's the drone breaking and the image freezes. Because it's broken. The illusion has been terminated. It's broken. Yeah. Stretch.
But it's possible.
Sure. But it's more possible than Doctor Strange being Mephisto.
Yeah, and
we'll do another podcast after the movie and see how much of this holds up.
Oh yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Mysterio is dead. I think that would have been kind of like
disappointing.
Yeah.
Wow, I got just peppered by one of my drones. Cool scene for Peter, but such a letdown for Mysterio.
Yeah. So I definitely think he'll be back. I think he will be in this movie. I really do.
If not him.
And I'll be real happy because I love Jake Gyllenhaal.
He's so cute. But if not Mysterio, at least Vulture.
Yeah.
Because he's still out there.
I mean, but...
I like Vulture a lot.
I do too, but compared to fucking Mysterio... Come on!
As far as a character goes, I think Vulture was more menacing.
Yeah, but I like Mysterio more.
That's fair. The absolute biggest thing that is on everyone's mind is the possibility of the other Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Now, before we get into all of that, jumping back to what I mentioned earlier about why it was strange for Doc Ock to refer to Tom Holland's Spider-Man by his name when he's never met him, and how that feels oddly personal. Obviously, that makes you think, they're not showing you everything. He could have been acknowledging Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
People have also pointed out that Marvel is infamous for, in the trailers, cutting scenes to where it looks like a completely different situation going on. Or,
like, having scenes that aren't in the movie at all. Like, one of the most famous ones is from the Infinity War trailer of, like, Cap and a Hulk and a Okoye and War Machine and Falcon and Nat all charging directly at the screen through the jungle. Wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
At all. And it was a cool shot.
So, like, the way they make it seem is that Doc Ock says, hello, Peter, and then he's on top of the car.
And he goes into the pose. And
the suit comes up.
Yeah.
But, how would... No, that's okay. But, how would he recognize him? He doesn't know
he doesn't know that's Peter because he's out of the suit.
Yeah. Now, playing devil's advocate, it could be after Peter has the suit on.
He saw the tentacles coming up and he suited up. And then he sees that. And he's like, I don't know that suit, but that's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Hello, Peter.
Exactly. So...
Yeah, that one you can argue.
But it is still really odd, and it does seem, like, super personal. Like,
Hello, Peter.
Like, he knows that that's Peter.
Timing out from the Spider-Man thing. I don't like what they're doing with Doc Ock yet from what they've shown, because I think it's 100% confirmed from Alfred Molina or Kevin Feige, one of the two, that this is the same exact Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2. The same exact one. Not a variant, not the multiverse, the same one. And it's from the moment where he's about to sacrifice himself. Or, the river scene.
I have something to show you that we haven't gotten into yet that
Okay.
is about that and as to why he could be the way that he is.
Okay, well, let me finish my argument first.
Yeah.
So, until I hear what that is, I don't like that he's, like, it's whenever he's kind of having that change of heart, and he gets saved from this explosion, and now all of a sudden he's just, like, smashing shit and like, hey, Peter. Like, it's such a change of heart, and, like...
Well, I mean, people's emotions and feelings do change as well, though, to be fair.
But, like, to have a change of heart like that, just to change it again...
Well, it could be...
It feels like they're just using that character for a cash grab, but obviously we'll see. And what did you have to say?
So, do you want me to read the thing?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a whole thing about, like, the whole movie, not just this. Big spoilers are ahead because this is said to be a leak almost. Oh. So, like, if you don't want to...
Double spoiler warning for people who stuck around.
Yeah, so, like, if you don't want to hear this, I'll put a timestamp for when I'm done talking about it. For everything Daniel leaked seems to be real, read under your own risk. Peter's life is ruined by Mysterio reveal, now facing a trial where his lawyer is Matt Murdock.
That's been in circulation for a while.
So, people are theorizing that Strange locks them in a magical prison sort of thing, so then... no one can get out, and that's kind of why there is no way home. Because he doesn't want these villains getting out. Yeah. So, that's a possibility. And then...
To cut off really quick and play devil's advocate on that, that seems kind of weak, because again, Doc Ock is probably the scariest out of these villains, and he's just got metal arms, and Doctor Strange went up against Thanos with Infinity Stones. He could literally just... Yeah, but he could just Crimson Bands of Sidorak him, and then crush him.
So,
anyway. That I don't believe that one.
Anyway, so then the theory becomes, the Green Goblin asks them what the last thing is that they remember, and everyone says it was Spider-Man killing them. That is why
that would make sense.
He might not remember. He was about to die, so sometimes you could black out, you know, you never know, so...
If Sandman is in the movie, that wouldn't make sense. Sandman didn't die. He drifted off into the wind. In the sewer... Maybe, so Alfred Molina's Doc Ock is the same character, but what if the Sandman is from, like, a separate timeline that's a little bit different from the movie, where whenever Peter beats him up in the sewer, and he gets drenched with water and washed away, what if he thinks he dies and then gets brought back? So he thinks Spider-Man killed him.
Yeah.
Okay, that has some possibility.
Norman manipulates Peter into feeling guilty about their deaths. Don't know exactly where that comes in. Again, this is said to be a leak, so, like... Peter confronts Strange and breaks the key to the cell, releasing the villains. The villains escape and begin to destroy New York. To stop them, Peter, somehow, this isn't really specified on, brings the Spider-Mans of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back. Tobey takes on Doc Ock and Andrew against Electro again. The final battle occurs in the Statue of Liberty, and 3 heroes against 6 villains. It's unclear who is the last member.
Who the last member of the Sinister Six?
And that is said to be a leak. Not just like a theory, that's a leak. So, there's the chance that we will be getting all 3 Spideys.
Yeah.
Which there's always been that chance, but apparently the person this leak came from...
is credible.
Other leaks of theirs were correct, so...
My personal theory is that we're going to get at least one other Spider-Person in this film. And I think that Spider-Person is going to be Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And I think his suit is a little bit more recognizable to Tobey Maguire's, which is why... more closely resembling than Peter's suit, especially with the Iron Spider model. So maybe Doc Ock is referring to him whenever that scene happens. That wasn't mocking you. But I think because Tobey Maguire is such an icon of the superhero genre because of the first Spider-Man trilogy, I think that they will save Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man because of how iconic he is. He's everybody that's my age and older and even younger. Tobey Maguire's their Spider-Man. Tom's mine, but Tobey Maguire's more people's Spider-Man. Like, Tom Holland,
Tom Holland
acknowledge is the best, but he's not your Spider-Man.
Yes, exactly.
So I think they're going to save him. And what I think they're going to save him for is, I believe it's next October. Either it's 2022 or 2023 of October. There's a planned live-action Spider-Verse film. And I expect to get at least all 3 of the movie actors. Miles from Into the Spider-Verse, portrayed by the same person that voiced him. The same Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider from that. Maybe she'd pee her pants. Maybe Jake Johnson's Peter B. Parker as like older sweatpants Spider-Man. Maybe we'd get like Spider-Ham as the exact same character, not realistic at all, still animated.
That'd be funny. I'd like that.
Maybe we'd get Spider-Man Noir. Maybe we'd get Penny Parker. Like, we'd start to bring all that together. Maybe Spider-Man 2099 is a reason for that happening from the post-credit scene at the end of Into the Spider-Verse. Maybe they'd bring in Venom. Maybe, like, who knows? Because the Into the Spider-Verse movie is on the Sony side of things. Sony still does technically own everything Spider-Man related. Mm-hmm. Disney's making the MCU Spider-Man movies, but Sony owns it. Mm-hmm. So they could do whatever they want. So I think they would save something huge like that for a live-action Spider-Verse film. But at the same time, playing devil's advocate, it would be a very good deal for Disney and Sony if they really want this deal to work, because years ago there was a leak/report that they wanted to do 9 Tom Holland solo films. 3 of high school, 3 of college, 3 in adult life, and then transfer the mantle to Miles. They could be doing this film as like, hey, we're friends, shake on it kind of thing, to get past the thing that happened 2 years ago. And it could literally be, hey, we'll feature Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man to reignite interest in those franchises. Mm-hmm. So people will stream these, and because you own them, you'll make money off of it. Mm-hmm. As long as you let us keep using these characters.
Yeah.
I think that's a good business deal.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know.
I remember watching that as a kid. We gotta rewatch them again.
Yeah, I don't know, though. I don't know. But, I think we will absolutely get at least one of the older ones, whether it be Toby or Andrew. I don't know. I definitely think it'll be one of them.
I think it should be Andrew Garfield, but if they would do one of the two, it'd be Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
It'd be Toby.
Yeah. And I mean, that makes sense kind of with Doc Ock and so.
Yeah, but even then, Electro and Rhino. Rhino's in it.
They really specified on Doc Ock saying, "Hello, Peter."
Hello, Peter. Yeah.
So...
that's another thing. This is going to be one of the last things we talk about, and it's real quick. The trailer is apparently very similar to the Endgame trailer. The Endgame trailer featured almost nothing beyond the first 20 minutes. I think the reports are saying there's nothing in this trailer that goes beyond the first half an hour of the film.
Yeah.
First 30 minutes. What? Crazy, bro.
But again, take that with a grain of salt, because it's not 100% confirmed. Yeah. But I think, to kind of wrap it up, we'll go through what we believe is going to kind of happen in this movie. One little side note that I said to him last night that I just kind of wanted to throw out there because I think it would be really funny. It would make me happy because I don't want to see Happy die. I made a kind of joke, but also I think it is kind of possible for it to happen. Where in that scene where Happy looks like he's about to just
get blasted.
Yeah. I think it would be kind of iconic to bring in one of the old Spider-Man to save him in that moment. And Happy's like, wait a second, you're not Peter. And he's like, yeah, I am.
He takes off the mask, yeah, I am. Who are you?
Yeah. Exactly. I
like that a lot.
I think that would be so good. And
it fits Marvel humor, too, a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And, that's a very good way of introducing one of them back in. They're saving
that could literally be it, too.
Yeah.
Just them whooping ass for a second, all these guys with guns, and that's it.
Yeah, and then he drops down to get Happy, and he's like,
are you okay, sir? Why are you calling me sir, Peter?
Yeah.
takes off. Who are you?
Exactly. Like, I think
how do you know my name?
I think that'd be so good.
Yeah.
So good. And especially because I just don't want to see Happy die.
Yeah, I love Happy so
I'll be
much.
really sad if he dies.
Yeah.
Anyway, to wrap it all up, kind of, my theory is kind of... It was kind of what the leak said before I read that leak.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't think that Peter is going to end up finding a way back because it's called No Way Home for a reason. I don't think he's going back to the main timeline.
To build up on that real quick, I'm not going to take long. Like you just said and like I said earlier, he's not making it back home by the end of the film.
Yeah.
What probably happens is he's going to get stuck in whatever side timeline or dimension he's in. And then in Multiverse of Madness, they try to piece everything together. Because they said that this isn't just the multiverse arc. This is the setup to the multiverse for the rest of the MCU. So it could literally just be like, hey, everything's broken, let's fix this. So by the end of Multiverse of Madness, everything gets fixed. And then maybe there's a post-credit scene that, like, Peter has a way out or something.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 4, he gets back.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I think that's realistic.
Yeah. I think that it's just... The only thing that I can't really figure out, though, is how and why are all of the villains in the same place?
Well, that's what I said earlier. I think between Sylvie unlocking all these timelines that aren't getting pruned and Wanda kind of pulling stuff apart looking for her kids, what Doctor Strange does is the last straw on the camel's back. So what's happening is he's probably, like, jerking the timeline around, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And it could be crossing with other timelines, and people are getting pulled into the main timeline as it's getting jerked around.
Yeah, okay, I guess that's fair. But,
I mean, who knows? I mean, at the same time, they don't have to explain everything, because if they take too much time to explain everything,
it kind of takes away.
Yeah, because, like, that's my main complaint with time. The timelines, the multiverse, the dimensions in Marvel. It's so vague that, like, you can almost figure it out, but then there's, like, one thing that's like, okay, no, that doesn't make sense. It's so weird.
Yeah. But, no, I kind of think that it's just... Hi.
Yeah.
I don't really, like, have my own, like, definite theory about it, because...
I've got some little ones, yeah.
It's a lot, so I don't know. I do think... These are the things that I for sure think are going to happen. I think that we will see Matthew Murdock. I think that he is going to be Peter Parker's lawyer.
Yeah.
I do think we will get one, if not both, of...
The big Spider-Man.
Yes, exactly. I do think that it is Venom. I don't think it's Lizard. I don't know exactly how or why or anything, but I do think that it's Venom. Hold on. Taz.
I wish he went higher. He was meerkatting up to the camera.
You could kind of see. You could probably
like
see his
top
ears.
Of his head.
That was so cute. Just hold him up. I think that the last member of the Sinister Six is going to be Mysterio.
Yeah.
That's my theories and everything about the movie. I think that it's going to be both Spider-Man. I think that it's going to be Mysterio. And I think that the one is Venom. And I think that there might be maybe an appearance of Miles as well.
That's possible. Even if it's like a quick thing in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like he was basically name dropped in Homecoming by what's his name? Donald Glover. He was basically by the way, he could even be a villain in the future of the MCU because his character is Prowler. Like, Into the Spider-Verse, character the same name as the Prowler. So we could see more of him. Anyway, my final thoughts. We're absolutely going to get Matthew Murdock, like you said.
Yeah.
We're not going to get Daredevil. Maybe a coy mention of him, but we're not going to get him.
Yeah.
I don't even think we'll get Matthew Murdock for that long. I think it'll be really quick. I don't think they're going to dwell on the legal stuff for that long because of how quick Peter tries to change it.
Yeah.
I think it's Doctor Strange. I don't think it's Mephisto. I think that the Sinister Six is going to be Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Sandman, Electro. I think it'll be Rhino, because Lizard's unconfirmed. I think it's going to be Rhino. I don't think Venom's going to be part of the Sinister Six. I don't think he ever has been.
Yeah. He's just there.
Yeah, unless it is the Lizard and Rhino isn't going to be in it. And I think the sixth member could be Mysterio or Vulture, because Vulture also or even Scorpion, because Tom Holland Spider-Man beat him up and threw him in prison, and the post credit scene, he asked Vulture if he knew who Spider-Man was because he wanted to get back at him. So that's another personal end. So it could be Scorpion, because then
that'd be kind of. I don't think anyone would care.
Best case scenario, we get Green Goblin and Doc Ock, Electro and Sandman, and Mysterio or Vulture or Scorpion. Because at least there's one from the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I 100% think that it's going to be Mysterio. Because again, he technically is the main villain. And
I think we'll get at least one Spider-Man. Honestly, wouldn't be disappointed if we didn't get either of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad about it. Like, would it be fucking dope? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That'd be insane.
I wouldn't be that upset if neither of them made an appearance.
Yeah.
Because either way, I think it's going to be a great movie. I don't think it's completely necessary to have them in it, but it would be really fucking cool. Awesome. So.
Alright, well, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
I think that's a wrap on episode 2.
Yeah.
So, if you have any theories of anything that you thought, or if you agree or disagree with us, feel free to tweet at us at our information in the description.
Leave it in the comments.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. I know it's only episode 2 of Supernaturally Stupid about the paranormal and cryptids and all that, but it's nice to talk about other stuff like this, like really popular stuff, especially since we love Marvel, especially me. We'll do stuff that isn't paranormal every now and again. If you want us to do stuff that is outside of the paranormal, comment it. Let us know. Tweet at us. Give us ideas.
This will probably happen a decent bit, like whenever Shang-Chi comes out and all of that.
We're going to see Shang-Chi, so maybe, you know what we should do? Maybe not even a podcast setup. Maybe we'll just do like a, record like our thoughts beforehand, and then whenever we get back, talk about it.
Okay, yeah.
I think that'd be nice. Just real quick.
Yeah. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Share this on all of your social media platforms. Sharing helps us out a ton, whether you guys realize it or not.
Especially
it does.
Putting it out right now.
Yeah, it does help us out a lot. Follow both of us and our podcast accounts in the description below. All of our social media will be down there. But yeah, that's kind of it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on episode 2 of Supernaturally Stupid. See you next time. Bye.